tour guide and we're going to follow along in the text, and I want you to pick 3 pointers that are really important, okay?
If you wanted to invent a farming state, you couldn't do much better than Iowa. That's what my best friend from college said. He grew up on an Iowa farm that looks a lot like the one you see here. First, he said, you want your farm state to be mostly flat. Iowa began as prairie land. A prairie is an area of flat or rolling land covered mostly with tall grasses. Later on, farmers planted crops on the prairie. Next, you want fertile soil. The word fertile means able to produce good crops. Iowa has so much fertile soil that farms cover almost all of the state. Finally, you would want good transportation. Iowa lies between the Mississippi and Missouri rivers. Before there were trains, Iowa farmers used these rivers to send their crops to market. Today, Iowa farms produce huge crops of corn, soybeans, oats, and hay. Much of this harvest is fed to livestock. Livestock are animals raised on farms, such as cattle, hogs, and chickens. Iowa farm products are used in all kinds of foods. The chances are good that the next bag of popcorn you pop was grown on an Iowa farm just like this one.
One thing that I wanted to point out to you. What am I pointing out to you? Amanda? Yes, and what have we been learning about this week? What is that? Sequencing. So since this is an informational text, they use sequencing to organize the steps in this article. So, if you were to pick 3 important parts that we need to know about a farm town in Iowa, what are some of the things that you would choose, Clark?
Iowa became
What's that?
Iowa began as prairie.
Okay, so Iowa's a prairie land. What else? Vivian, what did you choose?
They fertilize the soil.
Okay, so you want to have fertile soil, to have a good farmland. Lily?
They produce corn, soybeans, oats, and hay.
Okay, so they produce a lot of crops. What else? Amanda?
Livestock.
Livestock is important, right?
Mm-hmm.
They have a lot of animals on the farm that they feed. Roman?
Iowa lies between the Mississippi and Missouri rivers.
Okay.
I'm going to turn down.
Which goes along with, why is it important that Iowa lies between Missouri and Mississippi? Why is that so important? Clark?
It's good water to help, like, if you have, it's good water for the plants, and it's good transportation.
Good. Notice how all of our key pointers came along with the sequence words. Okay? So, some key pointers that you should have written. Iowa's a prairie land. If you're thinking about using this as a resource for your open note test, what would you do? Would you go with more or less? Amanda? More. So it's a prairie land. It has good fertile soil. It uses the Mississippi and the Missouri River for what? For transportation. And they produce lots of crops. And they have a lot of livestock. important things that, or 3 important things that you need to make sure that you have is on your vocabulary list that you've listed the definition. Prairie. If I was to pick a couple words, I would say that it's flat land. Okay. Mostly grass. Good. Livestock. What's livestock? Animals on a farm. Farm animals. What's it mean if something's fertile? Yes.
It has good, rich soil for
Good, rich soil. Good job. Okay? So you don't, when you're writing notes, they don't have to be really detailed. You don't have to include everything. But you want to include those key pointers that are going to help you later. That's why you write notes, so that you can look back at them and say, okay, what did I need to remember about Iowa? What's important? Okay? Do I need to really remember the next bag of popcorn was probably grown on a farm? Not necessarily if I know that corn and soybeans and lots of crops were produced there. Okay? But that's the key pointer, not the bag of popcorn. Right? That's where we're going to stop today. I would like you to